I think we have seen that there's not always a forceful defense of the laws passed by the legislature. So what is the process used to decide how to defend the laws passed by the legislature?
I mean,
because when what y'all were in your presentation, you were saying our role is to defend the state and the state laws.
That is our role. That's our statutory duty, and we do defend the laws of the state vigorously.
That's how it should be, and that's how we want it to be if the legislature's passing a law.
Absolutely.
Okay. So that my question is, what's the process used to decide how you defend those cases?
What's the process? Like, how do we assign attorneys? How do we develop trial strategy?
The strategy.
I mean, it just depends on it's a case by case, but I mean, like I mentioned, we do vigorously defend the laws of the state. When we are sued, I mean, that's our statutory duty. No matter that, in fact, we have people always approaching us saying, don't you think this law is unconstitutional? We have questions in our opinions division that say, is this law unconstitutional?
But the difference is the legislature passes a law, which the legislature is the voice of the people under our form of government. And I'm just being honest. I've had people tell me that they've questioned the veracity of the defenses of the laws passed by the legislature. And so in y'all's presentation, it was, we defend the state based on the laws that are passed. And I'm saying that's in your presentation, rightfully so, that's what the Attorney General's office is there to do.
Absolutely.
Or that's the mission that's laid out by state. Yet the comments that have been made to me are that doesn't always get done equally across the board depending on the case.
Okay. Well, I'd like to explore that more, certainly, because we want to make sure that everyone's receiving the same level of representation. We have some phenomenal attorneys in civil litigation. We have been, and these are what I call, and across the agency, I call these, individuals mission driven. I mean, these are individuals that could make 2-3 times as much in the private sector, but they are committed to the mission of the state, defending our laws and making this place a better place than it was yesterday. And so we can definitely discuss that further, because our folks are in court every day defending our laws.
They are, and it's the Attorney General's common law powers to be able to choose who they defend or not. And I'm talking about like state officers. But y'all make the decision whether you're going to defend a state office holder or not, right?
Well, I mean, in most instances, we will defend unless there's conflict, unless there's some type of conflict. We will defend, the state law, state officer, unless there is a.
And so then that costs us, the legislature, additional money. Am I wrong in that?
That would be fact dependent on the case. If there was a conflict, I mean, we can, if you want to talk offline, or if there's something that I can speak to openly without violating any type of privilege on a particular case.
Well, no, I think it gets to the presentation was in the civil litigation division that the mission of the Attorney General as the state's attorney is to defend the laws that are passed by the legislature.
Absolutely.
And I'm just saying that what comments made to me is there's people who question the veracity of that defense depending on the law. Now, it is the Attorney General's powers under the common law to be able to, I guess, choose what they defend and what they don't. But I think it's just the question is it the same in every single case?
I would say yes. I mean,
okay.
That's what's important about it. You have a tightly run division, that you have oversight, and you have the same person you have a division director who's overseeing all the cases. You have individual attorneys who are handling them. And an attorney general who's overseeing everything. And so it's not like you have attorneys off on their own just handling cases and nobody knows how they're defending the case. I mean, we do defend all the laws and the elected officials. I mean, we have, like I said, over 300 cases at any given time defending. I think we have a case that we're defending nearly every statewide elected official, almost every agency we've handled litigation for. So
So
We do vigorously defend. I mean, there's a rare instance where we don't, because of a conflict, we may not be able to handle a case and a conflict that presents, whether it be a position that AG's taken before or for other reason, as you well know, our conflict rules that apply to attorneys